Hey, welcome back to Subscribe Reviews. This is episode 2, and we're talking about The Boys, episode 5. High five. I am Dragol, aka George. I'm here with Patek Philippe.
Hey, Philippe was really good.
Wallace.
What up?
And then Jay Hong.
Yo.
And all right, so let's get into the first topic. What we start with the episode is Maeve in the Dawn of the Seven movie. The Dawn of the Seven movies, I think it's a parody on Superman versus Batman, a couple of hits on Marvel's movies as well. And in this movie, they're using it as a tool to prop up their heroes, and they're going to show Maeve coming out in this movie. And what do you guys think of that?
I thought like in the very beginning, I got like real Avengers vibe, like, you know, when they're in New York and like they destroyed New York. That's what it felt like to me. I thought I feel like they even got like the color exactly the same, like in the scene. And I just thought it was kind of funny how they're like, you know, spoofing like that thing that's like that people are so in love with about the Avengers, you know, like they're so heroic, and then you like juxtapose that with the Seven and how they're kind of like just virtue signaling and not really being, you know, as real as like they should be and honest as they should be. So it was pretty interesting beginning of the episode.
Yeah, like I could see them using this movie just to prop up the little heroes and advertisement, and then you see like the green screen aliens, just like in all the Marvel movies, that they're all alien, faceless enemies, just so you could be at ease.
Yeah, it reminded me of like also like the Avengers movie, but I think the color grading that they chose to do was kind of like Zack Snyder-ish, because like all DC movies is like real like dark looking and dull. So I think there's sort of like pick jokes at both sides. So I like the idea, like what they were doing, and it also looked like a good movie in itself. Like I would watch it.
Yeah, and I thought her coming out in the movie was, you know, sort of cliche, but the fact that it happened in, you know, it's something that she wanted to do in real life, but she can't because whatever reasons. And the fact that she knows Homelander's behind it is, you know, that was a big sticking point in the opening, because then that created a new set of conflicts for Maeve, who we thought, you know, was untouchable for the most part until her girlfriend was introduced.
Yeah, even the way she came out was very awkward, and she was just like, "Oh, I'm just like you. I'm gay." I was like, "Oh my goodness, so cringy." Yeah, so we'll move on to the next subject then. Just like Homelander, after he was shown bullying like Maeve, one of the PR ladies showed him a video of him killing a super terrorist and accidentally killing someone else, and his points going down because of it. He went down 9 points, and it's like showing him as a war crime. Even people started protesting him. What do you guys think when you saw that?
I think it was very reminiscent of, what movie was that? Was it Avengers Civil War, when Scarlet Witch kind of destroyed town and killed a lot of people? It's just like, you know, we said before, The Boys is very like grounded and very realistic as far as like as much as you can go with superheroes. And it's just like, it was showing that Homelander did not care that he killed this bystander. And it was like, his approach was like, well, I kind of did you a favor anyway, and you guys are in a third world country and you're starving, so like, I'm putting you out of your misery. And you know, it's a harsh reality, but that's just the way Homeland is.
That scene when she showed it to him, I thought that was like, I don't know. I really enjoyed that scene because the man's was like, oh. And then he like looked away and he's like, whatever. Like it just shows his psyche. Like you can't even tell if he's trying to show empathy or not, or if it's like it's just all fake. But that scene was hilarious. And then he found out how many points he was down by, like 9 points, percentage points, which is big to him. But it just goes back to like, what Stormfront was saying, you don't need 50 million people like you just need 5 million people pissed off. And you had that small group of protesters that really pissed off about what happened, and they wanted, they wanted his cape pretty much.
I was gonna say, it kind of reminds me of Iron Man, the first one when Iron Man goes to like a Middle Eastern country, and then there's like a terrorist and stuff over there. He blows them all up miraculously with no casualties. I just thought it was funny because it's almost like a twist on that. Like superheroes always seem to go places and always seem to fight and not have any sort of collateral damage. And then the Homelander, does this, and he's just like, oh, whatever. He doesn't want to like be bothered by it because like he thinks it's so beneath him. But then he realizes that like shit, this this actually matters to certain people, and like the only thing that he seems to care about is like what people think about him. And every time that he takes a hit to his ego, it seems to like make him turn more and more desperate. So I think that's pretty interesting.
Yeah. Then it looked like he could have just took him away, fly in, take him away, not harm anyone, the guy, but he just lasered him, and
Yeah,
it seemed
if
like
you look at the
excessive
way-
force, right?
Like, look at the way when he approached him. Like, he looked at him and like he mocked the guy before he even shot the laser. He's like yeah, whatever, and then he shot the laser. So he knows like he could have done this thousands of ways without harming anybody, but he did not care. He just like F this guy, laser beam, done, I'm out.
Yeah.
And not only that, it's just like he doesn't want to like touch them. Like he just wants to like use his laser beams and be as far away from as possible, and do what he has to do, and then gone. So, and the way he took off too with that whole that whole swimming dive up into the air, that was hilarious.
I love Homelander and I hate Homelander at the same time. Like, he's such a great character.
He's a goofball. Yeah. We have Butcher, after his wife told him, "Oh, I can't leave with you because of," and then after he said a comment about the sun being a soup, he's in a slump, and he was walking around. He was like moping, and then he bought a toy. Said he was gonna retire, and then we meet his aunt or something. He even calls Huey. He becomes very nice to Huey. Calls him his canary. And then we find out. We meet his dog, and then we find out that that he's has a nice little home life to go to, and they find that I think the aunt talks about his brother, something like, and we don't find out too much. What do you guys think about Butcher being in a slump?
I think that even though they showed it, like his aunt, I think like his family background is still mysterious, and I kind of like that about the character because like I think it makes it more interesting because they don't reveal everything right away. And it was pretty interesting, like, his aunt, she has secrets of her own too. Like, Butcher has secrets and his aunt has secrets. And it's kind of interesting. Maybe it's like a thing that runs in his family. Like they never really, everyone has something to hide sort of when it comes to like the Butcher family. And it's just kind of interesting to see how it develops in like the generations.
Yeah, I liked his that was his aunt, you said, right? The fact that she had like the medical stuff in her basement. I don't want to skip too far ahead, but like the fact that, like you said, is you don't fully know these characters and there's still something to learn from them because there's always a twist and a turn with every scene that they're introduced in. So like I like the fact that they gave him more character depth and showed that he actually has a vulnerable side when dealing with rejection in a sense. So just is showing how he handles it and how he deals with it, and it actually makes him nice opposed to just being this kind of cranky guy all the time. So that was an interesting dynamic to his character.
I mean, that goes back to like when he got into that fight with the mosh pit, and he was just getting jumped, and he had that smile on his face, and that just goes back to his character depth, like Jay was saying, and again his vulnerabilities, but also just saying, I'm gonna hang it up and go to Argentina. Like that was like you would think he's not like a quitter, but he kind of lost his reason for fighting with Becca saying, no, I'm just gonna stay here. So he didn't really have a reason to pursue any of the soups anymore or Vought, and he just gonna hang it up and leave. Ended up at his aunt's house. but a lot of the characters got a lot of good development. Like especially the female, like I thought she got a lot of character development in this episode with Frenchie too.
Yeah, speaking of the female, she kills again in this episode. She's back to killing because of her brother. She's just taking it out on these three poor guys, talking about whitewashing just before she comes in. And I think she even rips someone's face off. What do you guys think of Kim this episode?
That scene hurt, but more so the fact that it seemed like she was gonna kill Frenchie again, but she just stopped herself from doing it. And the fact that she's working with his ex is hilarious, or his side piece was hilarious. But I think he's like starting to realize like maybe I can't communicate with her. Maybe this is just how she is, and just lets her go off on her own. But I thought she got a lot of good development, and that scene is very haunting because that man was still alive.
Yeah, let's not say that that's his side chick. She definitely has a certain loyalty towards her. That's not that side chicks don't have that kind of loyalty. Let's be real here. But they actually no, I'm wrong. They do. I don't think I can't call it side chick though. But yeah, like she said to Frenchie, female's not a kitten. She's hurt. She's a suit. She lost her brother. She feels like it's her responsibility, and she wants revenge. And this is her way of getting revenge. And just kind of this is her way of grieving. And they show how she grieves. And you can tell Frenchie's not okay with it. He's not accepting of it. But this is what she knows right now. For the time being, this is how she's gonna have to grieve.
Yeah, I was just gonna say like it's kind of interesting because like Frenchie wants he wants to be kind of like this white knight, but he doesn't exactly know how to be that person for her. And I think like his good intentions are gonna end up getting him like severely hurt somehow. I just don't know how, but something's gonna backfire. And I think I just hope that I hope like the characters find some resolution at the end. But right now it looks like Frenchie might be hurt by this a lot deeper than we see in that episode.
You know something we don't know is does Frenchie die in the comic or something?
I'm not gonna say nothing.
Yeah, it's weird to me that Frenchie is like this because like when you first meet him, he makes a bullet to kill Translucent. So I'm like, he's been killing people for a while, I guess, or suit. So
Yeah,
I don't know what changed.
It's like there is like maybe a little bit of hypocrisy in Frenchie, and I think like that's like kind of like his dilemma too. Like he's been living his life a certain way, but he's like trying to help somebody, but he can't even help himself. Like he's into drugs, he's into like kind of like bad shit. Like he wants to be this kind of like upstanding person, but he has his own demons.
We meet the Deep again. Now he's married. He's making moves thanks to the Church of the Collective. It seems to be working. He's back in TV. He's getting interviews. Do you think the Deep has changed? Like, do you think the Church of the Collective helped him out?
Absolutely not.
He's just trying to repair his image, and you can see through it though because. Again, that's another trope that they're bringing up. Like you usually you see like these people that go to rehab and stuff that are celebrities, but then they do a lot of community service to repair their image, and then 3-5 years down the line, they're doing the same shit that they did before. So, I mean, it is working. I guess it's working, but that just goes to show like how deep the Church of the Collective is involved with image repair. Just like Vought is with the superheroes, they have like their own pull. But they started off with him getting married, so that's something. And then, but again, those guys like got killed by, a female. They were arguing, saying, that's bull. No one believes that. They're whitewashing a lot of things. So that was a big trope too that they brought up. But it just goes down to show like people are gonna eat up whatever they want, especially with the Deep coming like repairing his image. They're just gonna like go along with it.
I also really, really love how the media is kind of like really utilizing the show where they use the TV to showcase the storyline and how the reality of the rest of the world views the superheroes. Like he's in the episode, but he's not in the episode. So like they transition like different scenes by using his character on the TV. So we're getting his character, his current storyline, but we're not really like focused on it and like force fed it. So it's like it's really interesting. I love that dynamic, and I haven't really seen that done too often in superhero shows.
It's almost like the inside looking out when you see him.
Yeah,
Yeah, I'm starting to like the Deep. Like I think he's kind of like a really funny character. He gets dunked on consistently by everybody, but it makes him kind of endearing in a way, even though he's not even like a great person. It looks like he's trying really hard to like change his image. I think it's really superficial. Like I think he doesn't. It's not like about actually changing himself as much as just trying to get back in the 7. He just wants to be back in the mix. He's still kind of a fun character.
I mean, you want to see him win though because he's doing all this stuff, but then you remember what he did. You're like, you know what? Fuck that guy. So, I mean, you do want to see him win in a way. And that little scene he had with Maeve, I want to help you. I can be that girl for you. Show people that you're not a complete piece of shit. He's like, wait, you think I'm a piece of shit? He's like, fuck yeah, you're a piece of shit. So, and it just brings him back to reality too, because he thought he was changing his image in a way where he's not, seen as that, perceived like that, but May brings it back down to reality. He says, no, that's what you are. So own it. And that's pretty much it. But I can help you. So, but then that's going to be a good dynamic to see how they go forward with their relationship and what she really wants him to do.
my favorite scene with the Deep is still the scene with him and that dolphin. Like I just think that is such a hilarious moment.
Yes, that's my favorite scene too, man. That's just too
He's
funny.
like, not now. I'm about to just watch it later on tonight.
We need more deep talking than sea life.
Yeah.
Sea life.
The lobster too. The lobster.
Yeah, the
Oh,
lobster.
my God, like such
Yeah,
great
we need
writing.
more of that.
He's so like making
You're
fun of
like-
Aquaman is so easy, right?
Yeah,
And
he's
so-
like he's trying to save the lobster in the process of saving the lobster.
This version of Deep is way better than the comic book.
Was
version.
that this episode or was that a previous?
That was a
episode?
previous
This
episode.
previous episode.
This episode, I think he gives a book to a homeless lady. He said, I thought there would be food here. Yeah.
Oh, he was like,
Food
He's
for
like,
the soul.
food for thought.
Food for the soul.
That brought me back to that SpongeBob episode where
Oh, God.
Squidward didn't eat Krabby Patties, and then Scrooge's like, "No, Squidward, it's good for your soul," and he's like, "I have no soul."
Yeah.
I guess we are all coming along to
The Deep.
the Deep.
Yeah.
Just he's so dumb. He doesn't know what's going on. Like he doesn't know he's getting taken advantage of. He doesn't know people are shit. The guy who was watching the trailer was A-Train. He was just given his lines to retire, which is also in the Dawn of the 7 movie. And I thought he was going to be kept back in after the interview, but it looks like A-Train is going to have to leave. And I think he was fighting it at first, but they told him to get some food. They blackmailed him. They said, take it up with my higher-ups guys. He's talking to the director, the Sprint guy. You guys, what do you think about A-Train? Is he gone? Oh.
I don't think he's gone from the show. I think he's gonna come back, but I just thought that whole dynamic was wild too, because in a way you kind of root for him too, because it's kind of messed up. He's getting kicked out, but
Is
he
it,
did it to himself, because Ashley, she said you got two ultimatums here. Either one, you walk over to your severance package and go about your business, or two, we leaked the fact that you like caused yourself to get a heart attack because you were pumping yourself full of compound V. So she kind of had him by the balls like with that. So and he couldn't do nothing.
Yeah, I mean, I don't. We're not like supposed to like A-Train, but it's hard to because of what he did. To Huey's girlfriend, but it's hard to kind of like. It's good. It's good at the show directors are kind of like making you kind of feel bad for him for getting kicked out the team. They put him in these situations that like if anybody was in that situation, they'd be upset too. So like you could kind of sympathize with the character. I think there's gonna be a lot more A-Train because like he's like really central to the story. Like the story doesn't happen if he doesn't run into Robin, right? So like I think he's gonna have more time, and then he's gonna find. I think he's gonna find a way to get back at the Homelander somehow. Like he's still upset. He's gonna get his revenge one way or another.
Yeah, I definitely agree with that. One thing about all right, so to start off, when he's reading his lines in the Dawn of the 7 movie, he delivered his lines really well. Like it almost felt like a real movie, and I was like, okay, well, like again, I would legit watch this movie. And then at the same time, like I think one of the reoccurring things of the show is that there's no such things as good guys and bad guys, because the good guys, for example, Homelander, he's portrayed to be this heroic Supermanish character when reality he's not. He's like the world's greatest villain unknowingly. And then the good guys, the boys of the show, is like they still have to do bad things to kind of get things to go right. So there's no, you know, one side in this. Is everyone's good and bad. Like there's no just pure reality towards this, if that makes any sense.
Yeah, I agree with that definitely because, I mean, it's up to the viewer to just figure out what their moral compass is and decide with who they're gonna side with. Like you want to see them win, but then again, the way they're going about it is wrong. So it's really hard to root for people in the show.
Yeah, so I can't necessarily say I dislike A Train, but I can't say I like him either just because of those things. So I'm just stuck in the middle.
I just wanted to bring up that when A Train is delivering his lines, it's not even the Homelander standing there. It's like
yeah.
fucking like it's like a stand-in, like,
Stand-in.
and that shit killed me, bro. That shit fucking killed me.
Yeah, he turned around. I'm like, wow, he couldn't even show up for her. That's messed up.
Like I turned around, I was like, great line.
You did great. You did great.
That disrespect, dude.
I felt like that was foreshadowing or something.
He
Like,
got
that stands
more
out.
disrespect though with Stormfront though. That was crazy.
Oh yeah, they're showing Stormfront is racist.
Oh, she's so racist.
Yeah.
Oh my
100%, man.
Liberty. I was like, oh gosh.
But the way she played that scene was good. That was like, it was really subtle, but the way she played it was like, you know what? You racist. You definitely racist.
That's what makes you want to hold on to Atron. I was like, oh, you're the only colored person left in this stuff.
Exactly.
So, I can't. I was like, oh, damn it.
I mean, technically he's not.
Yeah, he's not.
He will be.
Black
I mean, I
Noir.
sound like Homelander right now saying that because Homelander.
Yeah, he did. Yeah, Black Noir doesn't identify as any gender or race, apparently, according to Homelander. So we'll see. All right. Speaking of Stormfront, she and Starlight are like
Love of
beefing.
my life, little Starlight.
Still Starlight. Yeah, she talks to her mother. Her mother's there, and then she's trying to get in with Starlight's mother, just to give her like a little checkmate. Because like, yeah, I know who you love and stuff like that. And what do you guys think the interactions between Stormfront and Starlight now that Starlight knows that she's Liberty?
It seems like this is all fated to happen because Starlight was really like enamored and really into Stormfront and the fact that she could just say whatever she wants in front of these people and she could do what she wants, and it's basically like what Starlight wanted to be when she first came into the Seven. So, but she's still being controlled. Like she even called herself a fembot in the episode too. So it's someone that's like unthinking, that's also controlled as well. And Starlight can do whatever. I mean, Stormfront can do whatever she wants, but I thought that was like a check on, agreed to a check on Starlight. Like, oh, I know who your mom is. I can touch you whenever I want. And then we find out some information later on in the episode between the two. But Starlight played off, her part pretty well too with that particular scene.
Yeah, I think Stormfront did a good job at foreshadowing what's to come with Starlight's mom, and just really doing a good job at addressing the fact that, hey, I know that you leaked the information, and I know the reason why you leaked the information is because of your mom. So here's your mom now. Whatever you guys have to say about it, I want to be here too in this conversation. And ultimately, it's not going to pan out well for Starlight, but we'll see. We'll see how it goes. It's definitely not going to pan out for Starlight's mom at all.
There's red flags all over her. She basically a walking red flag.
I feel like she's gonna be clipped soon. Like,
Very soon.
it don't feel good for her mom.
This episode is over.
And like Stormfront definitely knows there's something up with Starlight. She hasn't used it to like kind of take out Starlight for some reason yet. And I think she's gonna try to use her as like a double agent somehow to like influence her to do certain things, maybe even influence her to like manipulate the Homelander or other superheroes or something like that. I'm kind of interested to see how like this develops because it's like it's almost clear like when you're watching it that like she knows something's up. So like how is she gonna blow it up and and make Starlight pay for it?
But I thought she played it off pretty well though too when she was in her trailer and she saw those files, and then we even saw that picture of Stormfront and that older woman who people are speculating that's her mother, but others are speculating that it's her actual daughter, sister, maybe someone that grew old. I'm not gonna speculate on it, but her name is her password, so she got some significance. We saw that those emails she sent to Sage Grove Center, which might be like a psychiatric center based on like the scrubs that Shawn Ashmore had on when she called him.
But I did notice Iceman, aka lamplighting now, and they had him flickering with the thing, like just like in the X-Men movie. So I'm like, they're really like beaming on everything.
I did like how they alluded to him a lot in the episode too, with the little plushie, and then the kid that got killed by Homelander, he had the lamplighter shirt on. So they're like teasing him in a way in the episode, which is cool.
It's pretty crazy. And then I think you mentioned that scene where she said she's a fembot, and like girls doing it. And it reminded me of the scene in Avengers when it was all the girls, which I liked, but apparently a lot of people did not like.
Well, that was kind of cringe the way they set that up, man.
Yeah, it was just the way they went about that.
I think Stormfront's supposed to be a feminist too, but she's a bad guy, so I was like, oh, we're on the slippery slope. We're on the slippery slope here. But yeah, Iceman. So now we'll talk about, like, have you guys seen the advertisements for The Boys before the episode came out?
Yeah.
And they showed Homelander killing everyone, and then when we see him in the show, he goes up to the crowd, and then he tries to calm them down. He said, "You guys love me, right? You guys love me," and then the crowd starts flipping him off, right? And even the soldiers like, "You don't speak for us," which is crazy because like all the Republicans say, "Oh, our soldiers are the heroes," and that was just a good comments on that, how like a lot of Republicans speak for the army, and then it looks like he burns everyone, and then it was just a bait. It was I got you baited. Yeah, he's just thinking it. And I was like, I couldn't watch the episode for one whole day. When it came out on Friday, I didn't watch it until Saturday. So I was like, I don't want to see this yet. I'm not ready for this. So what do you guys think about that?
I thought they was gonna like take it there because it's like the episode before that when Liberty was saying you don't have to get them to like you and you can get them to rebel. I thought that's what that was gonna be like. They're already rebelling, so just increase it by killing the people that were rebelling. I do feel like not to get political, if Trump had powers and in a situation like that, he would definitely just use his laser beam and take out everybody. I feel like, certain people, even myself, if I'm just that, like in that situation, everyone's just like booing me or whatever, I'm like, guys, like, listen, like, and they're still like, no, F you. I'm like, all right, well, I'm going to just laser beam you. So like, maybe I'm just a Homelander fan. I guess that's
maybe you just weak-willed out here.
No, he wasn't. He's not wrong. He's misunderstood.
What do you think?
He wants milk.
Oh my god, he wants his mama's milk. This man needs milk. What do you think, Philippe?
I'm not sure, man. I mean, it's I think he's like losing it. Like he wants to really just let loose and just say, fuck it, I'm the strongest thing out there. I'm just gonna kill everybody and do what I gotta do. He just wants to let go, but he reminds himself like he's still like under the shackles of Vought. Vought still owns him and still owns his mind. So like that was like a moment I thought he would snap, but he didn't. So it was pretty surprising.
We see him breaking down after the meeting. He's like, because I think he's really upset with his image, and he was like breaking down in some like hallway or something. He asked Stormfront for help with the memes and like all that stuff. And those are very popular on Facebook, and a lot of Republicans use Facebook. So, so his numbers went up because of that. So I'm like, all right, so I could see that happening pretty quickly. So
I think like the last couple episodes, we've been seeing him break down slowly, like a little more and more. That's why I kind of understand why he would want to do that. He's at a breaking point. Like, I'm not saying it's okay to just laser beam hundreds of people. However, this man is a superhero and he's at his breaking point.
Yeah, but it's only because of his image, though. So And he was
Yeah.
told he's being told by Stormfront like, look, if you go down a couple points in the polls, that's okay. Don't worry about it. And man's just like, no. Everybody needs to love me, and that's it. And when people don't love him anymore because he has like such he when he lost Stillwell, so that was the only person that he really like cared for. But then he found that he had a son, so he can't really see his son anymore because Becca is not gonna let that happen, and she doesn't want it to happen. So then he runs into Stormfront, who's basically manipulating him the whole time, the whole way with the memes and everything like that. So that's I think I think she's gonna like it's gonna be like a big huge twist with her, with him.
But you have to also understand Homefront because you're talking about a man who grew up in a lab. He didn't have the traditional family, anything like that. He's pretty much a science experiment who's only been taught to care what the public perception of him is. So that's all he knows. It's not like he's just some shallow guy. This is his reality where like the public's opinion is his life. So when they turn on him, it's like he hasn't had to deal with that. So he has to adapt. I am a Homelander fan. I know it sounds like that, but
That's fine. That's
I am
fine.
not. I
I'm
promise
just
you.
saying it's
But
the whole allegory of the cave
yeah,
thing.
Yeah.
he has to
In the
like adapt
cave,
to it.
you keep them away from the outside society, and then you release them, and then
You get it. You get it.
I do, but I don't want to get it. Like,
I am sipping for his mannerisms, so yeah. Yes. And then like I guess it would make sense that he didn't kill him because he still wants to be loved by those people.
Mhm.
So yeah. Now we get into the last two juicy topics for today. And, that's Black Noir going into the butcher's aunt's house, and they set all these traps for him. And when they were setting the traps, Huey and Butcher have a nice little chit chat about Huey telling him not to give up, and like Butcher's trying to say, "Oh, I'm going to sacrifice myself." I was like, "Oh no, they're not going to let him do that." And then he said, "Well, who's going to make you stop? Who's going to stop me? You?" And then your boy Mother's Milk comes in. He's like, you think you could get through him? You're not gonna get through me." I was like, "Oh, Mother's Milk." But yeah, and then they wait for Black Noir, and he hits all the traps.
And last episode, I said I wasn't really a fan of Black Noir at all. Complete 360. First of all, this guy starts off with just chilling on a roof, scoping out the place. Then when he comes in, he destroys the whole place, sets it on fire. I love it. That's my take. I love Black Noir. He's Batman on steroids.
I believe you had a comment when we were pre-rehearsing.
Yeah, I think we all want to talk about the elephant in the room, and that's Black Noir camouflage behind a little window in a house. Like how is he over there, and how does nobody see him? Like, or they just ignoring him? Like, how do the firemen not see Black Noir and be like, "Yo, it's Black Noir. What is he doing here?" Like, that didn't make any sense. It was funny as hell, so I'm glad they left it in there.
yeah, no, that was like one of my favorite parts of the episode because I'm like, first of all, they got all these fire trucks around. You would think the firefighters are gonna check the roofs if there's like a gas leak or something, and you would see him just chilling out, like, what's that over there? That's Black Noir. But and the fact that like Edward was saying earlier with him hitting all the traps, I feel like he did it on purpose because he had to like purposely walk through all those traps to set them off. So I mean, A, to make sure that nothing else is gonna harm him, but B, basically to flex on them. Say like, you know what, you set up all these little pipe bombs and pop bombs, but they ain't do nothing. And now Butcher's aunt's house is ruined. I mean, she's trapping out of there, but it's ruined.
See, the same energy you have towards, hey, there's a guy on the roof, no one sees him. Had that same energy with Batman. It's the exact same thing.
I guess if I saw someone on the roof that I knew was a hero, I would just turn around slowly and leave. And
You don't want no smoke with
honestly,
Batman,
I
bro.
don't-
Maybe get beat up by
notice.
Batman.
Yeah, maybe they noticed him and they was like, nah, Black Noir's up there. Let's just put out this fire. I ain't pay a ticket or something like that. No smoke.
Yeah, you don't want no smoke. That's why they probably ignored him. They probably, yo, what he doing here? Nah, that's not, today's not it. You gotta go.
Like, I don't get paid enough for this shit.
Exactly.
I retire in 2 weeks.
They end up trying to fight him, right? And then Butcher locks the door behind Huey, tries to sacrifice himself, and I was like, "Oh shit, he is actually doing it." And then Huey, I think he starts losing to him, Then Huey knocks down the door, or Mother's Milk knocks down the door, shoots. And Black Noir does not hesitate and just throws a knife right at him. I'm like, oh, fuck, no, not Mother's Milk, not yet. And then Huey comes out. I was like, oh, this guy's dead. This guy's dead.
Yeah, he came in shooting in the wrong. Like when he was shooting,
He missed every shot.
like he shot everything except him, and then he finally got a couple hits, and then he grabbed the gun with his bare hands and just let it shoot through his hands. So that's kind of alluding to what other abilities that Black Noir has. But the fact that previously when you mentioned Butcher's aunt bring up Lenny, his brother, and how Huey reminds her of Lenny, and I think that's like we mentioned earlier during the pre-show too, about Butcher calling him his canary, and that he needs him, to keep him, like, make sure everything is like safe. So he's like a stabilizer.
Yeah, and then Butcher, when he sees Huey's about to get killed, then he tries to say, "Oh, I have pictures of Homelander's son. I don't think you guys want to leak it." And that's when the boss calls on the phone, and the ringtone was hilarious from Black Noir. I was like, "Oh no, this fucking ringtone!" He puts him on the
like
phone.
Hallelujah or something like that.
Yeah. And it seems like his powers is the bullet went through his hand, so he might have Deadpool's powers, something like that. So he might be like a Batman Deadpool type of guy. So I was like, and then when I think the aunt walked down, I was like, okay, she's definitely dead, right? After Butcher made the deal, I was like, I don't think she's part of the deal, but they left her alone. So.
I think she's
Actually super surprised that she survived.
Yeah.
I didn't think she was gonna make it, to be honest.
Yeah, I
that
guess.
would give Butcher another reason to take out, Black Noir if he killed his aunt.
And do we
Terror too? Terror, the little
Terror.
his little bulldog. Yeah.
The hump dog. The hump dog.
Yeah, when that dog started barking, it was in the basement. I was scared for that dog. I'm like, Black Noir's upstairs.
Yeah, and then I guess it shows why the boss wasn't scared of Homeland, that he has Black Noir in his back pocket. And Black Noir just follows the orders like that.
Mm-hmm.
He just walked out, no hesitation. I was like, oh crap. Yeah, so that was interesting. And then I think the dog was in the comics, and he humps. They show him humping an actual dog, another dog in the comics. So they didn't show it in this episode, but you hear the toy squeaking really fast. That was pretty hilarious. All right, the scene that made me uncomfortable, and I was like, yes, at the same time, Stormfront and Homelander. Ooh, sex scene. Homelander comes back. I think was he mad at Stormfront, but
I think she jawed him, and she might have hurt him, and he got a little upset, and his eyes started going red, and she's like, "Do it. You're not gonna hurt me." So he did it, and she wasn't really injured by it. She said it hurts, but I think she's lying. If you looked at the episode, you saw him use his laser beams a lot, especially with that scene where it would just tear through everybody like it was nothing. And then it hit her and did absolutely nothing other than like scarring, and then she's like healed up in a minute. So that was crazy.
I've seen a lot of messed up stuff on the internet, but that I wasn't feeling that scene. That wasn't my thing. I wasn't feeling her burned chest.
Yeah, no.
I mean, some people are into that, but that's not me. I'm not into lava people. It was pretty interesting. Like, it's cool to finally see somebody that's like his match, the Homelander's match, and like she's obviously way smarter than him. Like, she's more like methodical, and she knows things that he doesn't know. It seems like she was put on the team to like keep him in check, and like now he knows, like, damn, like I can't just like bully her and kill her with like my laser eyes. That's what he uses against everybody. Everyone's afraid of his like heat vision, but not her. She's like, do your worst.
Because now that you guys bring that up, has he ever really used his hands to take out a villain? It's always been his eyes.
I think he did. Damn, I'm already getting him mixed up with Black Noir. I think he might have when he went like into the insurgency, when he was helping out the actually.
Yeah.
The only person that he used his hands on was the guy when he clapped his ears.
Yeah, but besides that, I think you're right. I think I don't know. I can't remember. I know he just doesn't want to touch people.
Yeah, the Asian death guy, right?
Mhm.
Daredevil dude.
But yeah, like this, man, on the ground, it was over for him. I felt bad for him.
I was like, why? I was like, why? But he killed a guy that was shooting off the top of the roof. Like, he punched him, and he was like, oops. and then he wiped his
Oh, okay.
Right.
like that. I guess yeah. And then he was being rough with her. He was throwing her all over the place, and she was throwing him all over. And
He
it,
sliced through that plane like nothing.
Clean,
He
yeah.
too clean. But yeah, they were throwing each other all over the place, and I don't know. I'll talk to you if we do theories in a little bit. I'll let you know like what.
yeah, we'll do theories in a bit. Yeah, reminded me of when Superman and Wonder Woman were like a thing, and then they alluded to having sex in the sky, making like thunder noises and stuff like that. And I was like, oh shit, they could go all out. So, and then we've seen Pop Clog explode someone's head, so you could see how rough they're probably. You can imagine how rough they actually were. So.
Yeah, I stand with Philippe on this. It was interesting, but it was weird. I could do without the lava people as well.
So theories, stuff like that. I do like the daughter theory. I was thinking it was her mom, but I was like, she's too old to be her mom, and she's in the new Stormfront suit. So I'm starting to think it's maybe her daughter or some past lover or something like that.
Thinking.
So you guys go first.
I'm thinking for the next episode, and I didn't even watch, like, if there was any type of preview, I didn't even watch. I'm thinking that they're gonna use V, like the boys are gonna use V, like it's gonna happen very soon, because like I think they're starting to see how tough like Black Noir was. Like they couldn't even touch him, like they used bombs and everything, and they didn't even hurt him. So I think they're gonna like find a way to use V to make themselves stronger, and they might get it from A-Train. That's what I feel like that might happen. I don't know.
That is a good take.
I like that theory a lot. This is in regards to the fact that Mr. Edgar knows Butcher knows about the Homelander's son. When Stormfront was like, "Oh, how are you gonna repay me?" and they ended up having sex at the end of the episode, I think that if she gets pregnant, they're gonna have like a pure superhero, super baby, like an actual superhero, instead of like what's his name, Ryan. Ryan's only half. Like he has Homeland's powers, but he's like kind of disappointed in him because he can't throw a baseball really, and his mom's kind of babying him a lot. He doesn't really see him panning out. So I think that Stormfront is repaid by, and I think there's something a little darker with her too, because she's been around so long, and we don't know who Homefront's mom is. I mean, Homelander's mother is, or what's going on with that situation as we learn like more backstory. But I think she's actually gonna like have the first super baby enhanced pregnancy where she gets like I don't know, we'll see. But I think that's like a going forward. Then
Do you think they'll ever bring back that baby from season 1?
I would laugh if they do. The one with the laser eyes. That'd be cool.
It's like what happened to him?
Just a baby. He probably got
Just crawling somewhere.
I don't know. He's just being a baby. I don't know.
Like, that baby had like blue eyes, right? Like it was like
blue laser. Blue laser.
And Stormfront's power is blue, so like she has like the electric powers. Maybe they're related somehow. That's a good point. That's a good point. I forgot about it.
I think she's like being so old and involved with Vought. She's probably high up on a totem pole because she can say whatever she wants. She talks reckless about Vought, and they don't check her. So she's obviously like again, we think she's like the first super. So Vought created the first super from experimenting on Jewish people that he got from Hitler during the war. So she's the first super. She's probably like the first, like she's like the mother. Like if you guys seen The Brood, that was an old horror flick where this woman was basically having all these creatures or children, and she pumped out a lot of them.
Yeah, I'll be interested in seeing like just exactly what her relationship to Vought is just over time throughout some of the episodes. I'm looking forward to that.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I feel like maybe Stormfront, for my theory, I guess Stormfront is trying to build her or rearrange the Seven. Like she already alluded that she's like, oh, they let all kinds of people into A-Train. She's calling Lamplighter maybe to bring him back. I thought Lamplighter was old, but I guess he's not that old. Definitely trying to take over, and she's definitely not on the side of Vought. I feel like maybe they did something to her when she was Liberty, and then she's back with her revenge or something like that. So we'll see. Keep an eye on the storm.
They're kind of splintering apart now with the Deep basically working with the Treasure Collective. Maeve doesn't trust Homelander anymore. A-Train's gone. Starlight has been with the boys for a while. So who does Homelander have? Black Noir. He don't got no team no more, bro. So
Yeah,
if
Black Noir
Stormfront
don't
makes him a
talk.
team, he ain't got nobody. He's by himself. And he really gonna be alone. So then he really gonna go off the deep end. So I think that's gonna be the breaking point when he loses like the 7.
Yeah, we'll see what. All right, guys. Thank you for joining me on Subscribe Reviews. Remember to make sure to like, comment, subscribe, share with any friends who might be interested. We'll see you next week.
Peace.
Peace.
Later.